It's a thing where it evolves, isn't it? It evolves to the point where...
Tell me what's going to evolve to.
No, but I'm just saying, it will just evolve to another form of rap. At the end of the day, drill is just another body underneath rap anyway.
Chief do drill.
Of course.
No, he does not. There's little Dirt do drill. He did do drill because he did drill for a bit. And he realised that's not going to make money. Let me do something else. Let me do drop on this.
But to be honest, I don't know who's going to come in the scene. I can't predict the future of it, brother.
Washing her mouth saying, drill's going to change. Drill's going to change. They're going to do influences. Bro, drill's going to get out of here. It's life.
Positive still.
Positive.
Definitely positive. I mean, it's negative what they're trying to do to it. Not people in the culture, the outsiders, but it's like anything, innit? Through adversity we rise. So.
We talk about this all the time, you know. Every 5 episodes we talk about this.
That's true.
I can't talk about
What do you think about the feminism in the drill scene?
What?
I'm joking. Just because you said we always talk
about it.
No, I'm joking.
It's positive, but I think what the problem is that the media, the press, the media always want to take something that they don't understand and turn it into a negative. Okay. Like, I think I understand that they will say like people are influenced by drill, but people are influenced by music every single day. So really and truly, like, you can't pinpoint one. The same thing happened with grime. When grime started, same thing. Everything was related to grime. Like all knife crime was related to grime. Any death of a young person was related to grime. It's all complete crap.
Do you know what? I think my perception on this has changed a bit recently as well.
How do you mean?
Because I actually had a conversation with my friend, right? And she was basically coming from the perspective of, yeah, like drill should be banned pretty much kind of thing. Okay. Because it's causing so much chaos, whatever. Okay. I was just like, right, well, I listen to drill. Am I out here stabbing man? Like, no. So like, but I think that was a bit ignorant of me as well, because it's like, yeah, just because it's not affecting me a certain way, it doesn't mean it's not affecting other people a certain way. So I think there is some truth to the whole thing of drill having some type of effect on a certain demographic or a certain culture, but I don't think it should be banned.
You better watch what you say.
It's tight, it's tight. Do you know what it is? I think what people love to do, yeah, they love to live in a world of ideals as opposed to reality. Well, we go back and forth, but for me, for this, I'm going to stay in the realm of reality so that we can get a good conversation out of this.
Say something rude, basically.
You know, I feel like drill as a means to get people out of the hood, as a source of entertainment, and as I think as that is good. It's fantastic.
Okay.
But I also appreciate the fact that as a young person who has been an impressionable mind and has been influenced by music, I also do see that certain negative portrayals or certain like dialects and stuff like that can have an effect. But it's no different to, let's say, you know, hip hop or the kind of music that I was listening to when I was growing up. It's not specific to drill. It's just, you know, music that talks about violence and stuff like that. It is going to have an effect on certain impressionable minds.
Look at him, not me. Look at me. Look at him.
I got the look from stay there.
Look at him. Don't look at me.
Like, yo, you done fucked up now. No, but I'm playing. But no, the drill scene is good, man. It's good. It's giving opportunity for people. Obviously, you know, Mary Poppins could be on the charts. Violence is still happening. Don't make a difference, really.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? It just fits the agenda, innit?
Watch the other episodes because you talked about this 10 times already. Look
when they took drill in Chicago. Did you know at the time when they were protesting against drill music in Chicago, that was the same time they were trying to get El Chapo for transporting drugs into Chicago. So there's more of a deeper thing for it with the violence arising, and at the same time they're actually reporting right now that cocaine is at the rawest form it's ever been in our city. Do you understand? So what's the correlation here? Where is this? It's a much deeper thing than drill music. They just, obviously, look at the papers it's on. It's on the Sun. Who's reading the Sun? And obviously, I know people read the Sun, but I previously read. But you know what I mean? It's the type of people reading this shit. They're really clued up. They're not. This is just where if you're being spoon-fed information, you can believe what the fuck you like, in my opinion. To be honest, if that's how your mind's being made up, then you're not gonna be any problem to whatever I'm trying to do in my life.
For me, it's a mix, personally. Like, I don't know how anyone, not you, but I don't know how anyone can sit and be like, it's so positive, like, it's amazing. Like, no, like, let's be honest with ourselves. And I feel like as a culture, we're just so dishonest with ourselves. Yeah. Like, the minute we actually need to just sit down, like, just everyone just sit down for a second. If the Sun didn't report what it needed to report, were you just going to act like oh, everything the drill scene and talk about, everything they say is so positive, it's so great. We all know it's not good lyrics, like in terms of what they talk about, like what they're trying to do to man. Obviously, I listen to drill, I love drill, do you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is on a real, like if I'm being real with myself, like if you strip back what drill talks about, like, and that goes to hip hop, that goes to like when we talk about Zans and all this shit, like it goes to the same thing. You strip back you bucket what people are talking about, these are all negatives. Yeah. So when we say, oh, it's so positive, it's like, no, you're just being dishonest, because yes, it's positive because it's putting people in, like they're getting a career, they're making money off of it, they get to come out of certain situations, 100%, and that's all positive to me. But when you bucket certain things and you look back and you think, wow, my man actually just said this, you know, my man saying this, are you now telling me that that's positive? Like,
but you get the same thing with every genre of music.
It's really a complex situation.
It is, yeah.
When you look at it from outside. Think about, put yourself in someone else's shoes that didn't grow up in an urban community, that hasn't grew up in poverty, that hasn't grew up from the hood or where we come from. So, and if they read the news now, automatically that's how powerful the media is. It can train you to be thinking, oh, these kids, all they're doing is I wouldn't want to go in this area, I wouldn't want to go in that area for safety of myself and this, that and the third. My thing is, we feed in, I know like it's very hard to ignore, and I know it's hard to say, oh, we should ignore it, and but it's truly everybody's livelihood in terms of those drill rappers, what they're speaking and what they're talking about, that's their livelihood. Music is an outlet to release what probably your most feared thoughts are, how you're feeling, whether you're depressed, no matter what mood that you're in, that's what music's there for. It's therapeutic. It's for you to release your music in a positive way. And I feel for me, like obviously people use music differently. Yeah. They could use it to be sending shots or whatever they want to do. Do you know what I mean? It has good and bad, but that's music in general. Because if Taylor Swift was sending shots for Katy Perry now, and she was saying it over a pop beat, doesn't it mean that she was still sending shots? Do you know what I mean?
I'm not one of them, so I'm not one of those people running around saying, oh, drill will make you stab someone. No, it really won't. But if you are the type of person who is in fear of your life or does, you know, might have ops or might have got into a madness last week, when you hear a certain song, it might trigger a certain energy inside you. So I do appreciate that as well. Yeah. What's happening now is new with the whole media sensationalization of this whole thing, and that's where the lines start to get mad blurred, and that's where I feel like there's this pressure for everyone to kind of say that drill is a negative thing.
100%, because I was waiting for you to chat rubbish so that I can cancel your
political correct.
Because I personally think, right, and I've said this from time, music has always had its positive and negative aspects. Drill is a genre that also has that, because as you said, it gives people or young men an opportunity to do something that doesn't, you know, involve just being on the block. So in that sense, it's an amazing thing, which I will continue to try and create for young men. However, I think that what we need to do is we need to just start looking after our young people who could be affected by different aspects of music. And when I say that, I mean there's so many different problems with music in the world at the moment, whether it's objectification of women, whether drug abuse, whether it's particularly that drug, what's that drug again? That's big, that Future and them. Lean?
Yeah, lean.
And stuff like that. And trying to, you know, show young people the difference between entertainment and actually applying it to reality. Of course, but
R&B blues started based off the slaves singing blues. Do you know what I mean? Singing jazz.
But we know
so like, but like that's the thing. Like, music has to come from somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
And it comes from somewhere. But that's evolved.
I agree with what you're saying.
Has evolved into
I hear that. I hear that.
But it started off like I'm like it's not.
But that's the same thing with grime, and that's the thing. For me, it's always an evolution, isn't it? Like things always progress.
And that's cool, but
this is where people are starting. This is where these people are starting off. They're starting off rapping about what they know, spitting about what they know in it, and that is why they are.
That's true.
Like, what's it called? That's what's it called?
100. People are rapping about what they know and what they're coming from. The same way when I was in school listening to grime, it wasn't about the shit I hear now or what people do now. It's evolved, it's changed because new people are coming up, and that's 100%. But when grime was coming up, when grime was bubbling them days, it still faced the same criticism.
Of course.
A lot of the stuff man were talking about was negative stuff, even if it was their effect, if it was their experiences. They're not like good experiences. Like some of them are going through some real shit. So when we sit here and act like, oh, it's mad positive, it's everything's fine.
No, I don't think anyone's saying. I don't think anyone's saying that.
Okay. No, people are saying that it's mad positive, like it's fine.
I think people gotta stop doing drill. Look at Lowski. He doesn't first campaign with drill.
It's a thing where it evolves, isn't it? It evolves to the point where...
Tell me what's going to evolve to.
No, but I'm just saying, it will just evolve to another form of rap. At the end of the day, drill is just another body underneath rap anyway.
Chief do drill.
Of course.
No, he does not. There's little Dot do drill. No, he did do drill because he did drill for a bit. They realised that's not going to make money. Let me do something else. Let me do drop on the...
But to be honest, I don't know who's going to come in the scene. I can't predict the future of it, brother.
Washing our mouth saying, drill's going to change. Drill's going to change. They're going to do influences. Bro, drill's going to get out of here. It's life.
If it does, it does, innit? I'm not bothered really, to be honest. I'm not invested in the drill scene, so I don't really...
I like drill.
Like,
I think drill's alright.
Some of it is good. I mean, there's so much of it. The problem I have with drill is the amount of shit that comes out compared to the amount of quality that's out there. It's a ridiculous... but it's like anything. It's a surge, innit? Of people trying to do music, never did music before.
That's why I like Kenny All-Star, because that new song with Teddy One shows that you can use a drill artist and put him in a different beat.
Yeah, of course.
Because
that should be common sense to any musician, like in the sense.
How many A&Rs do that though?
You shouldn't. Not a lot of them do that. Of course not. They just play
he knew there's elements of drill that is good. You can see a good rapper through drill sometimes.
Like K-Trap. It's important for him to
K-Trap. You can see that he doesn't have to do drill. He can do other things.
Yeah, K-Trap is.
But I don't think drill
the best one in it.
Or elements of drill is gonna live on for that long.
It's a no-brainer. Drill will survive the press because the culture has been surviving. It's a no-brainer. Drill will survive the press because the culture has been surviving the press. I don't think that what they're doing with drill at the moment is anything new. I can't see anything new from what I saw growing up. They just mixed and matched what they tried to use to bring down the culture. So I think it will survive the press 100% because people hit back now. People actually, like, they don't care. Like, you can't attack Gigs without Gigs actually coming and being like, no. He will at the Piers Morgans, he will at people, we will actually get behind ourselves a little bit more, particularly on social media, to stick up for ourselves and actually be like, no, you guys are not, you don't have our best interests, so it will definitely survive the press.
I think it'll survive it because it's the same thing as grime when grime came out. There was a lot of killings when grime came out as well.
It's a lot of, like, if we go way back as well, like,
history repeats itself.
Rock and roll,
do you know what I mean?
like being blamed for like drug use and everything.
Look at that. No one speaks on that.
It's real. It's real. It happens. Like history repeats itself, like you said.
Do you know
like
what I mean? History repeats itself, but I think it will definitely survive it. It will survive the press for sure.
Yeah.
Couple years, like 5. No.
I think every genre does survive in its own right. Like, I don't think it transcends time in the sense of it being mainstream or going mainstream, but I think the genre itself will always be there because it's now there. Do you know what I'm saying? Music's different. It's not like other things. So it will kind of stay there. It will be in the background. You know what I mean?
Possibly. I mean, like, it's kind of true because I guess, like, if you look at it, like, when I was 15, mashed up, if anyone used to go mashed up raves in Vauxhall, I used to do that all the time when I was 15, going to dubstep raves and stuff like that. That was the hottest time to go dubstep raves and stuff. Now dubstep's kind of dead out, but you'd be surprised there are still dubstep places, people doing dubstep and stuff, even though I think it's finished, and I can't even do dubstep anymore, but... So I feel like drill would get to a point where, like how Lowski's moving, like how all these other artists, they're going to start moving to different genres. So there will still be people catered to still trying to listen to the scene, but I just don't think it will be as big as the long-standing genres.
Yeah.
That's why there's sub-genres.
That's just my opinion.
I think, fair enough. I mean, it will just evolve. I just feel it will evolve in a way that it will be like any genre. It gets watered down, like grime. Think about where grime went from. Yeah, it got watered down to the point of Oopsie Daisy, where it was nothing about it was grime. But we're still labelled it. Of course, it's not. It's a pop record.
Daisy is not even
of course.
even close to being a grime song.
Of course not. But I'm just saying the fact that no, but he was a grime artist. Chip was a grime artist before. That's my point. So the evolve of him having to go that far. Luckily, we don't have to do that anymore. Drill to go mainstream even now. When you're saying mainstream, drill could be a mainstream now. We're in the day and age with numbers and all these things here. Yeah, trust me.
How can you say
no?
Like,
I'm not. Forget that topic. That topic was rushed. I know I went left. So fuck it. I need to say some controversial shit. So this part is edited. Fuck dick, pussy, whatever the fuck.
We'll take some L's though.
I think it will survive the press because when I think about some of my friends that I know that make drill, like drill's not something that's massively successful like that. Bare artists are making bare money off. So a lot of the people doing it are just doing it for expression and they're just doing it because they rap and they freestyle with their friends and then they go studio and lay it down. So I think it will survive on that level. In terms of drill's journey as a musical genre, you know, we was having a discussion here earlier. Some people was comparing it to grime and stuff like that.
You're chatting rubbish.
But I don't feel like grime will ever drill will ever make it to that commercial level. And I feel like this press run that's going on right now is basically cementing that because we understand the culture. We understand that not all people that are in videos kill people. We know that it's art, it's expression. But these people don't understand that. And when
they never understood grime.
They never understood grime, but grime is easier to digest because you can describe it as
faster, mate.
You can I'm talking about the music. I'm talking about the culture of it. Like street culture in the UK has never made it mainstream, and we used the example of Giggs earlier. Giggs is an anomaly, and even if you look at the music that Giggs makes now mainstream, it's not blatantly. It's not as raw as some of the stuff he was making in his earlier days. So,
but I think that there's a difference between actually saying whether drill in itself will be present in our culture later or whether it will be mainstream. Maybe it might not be the mainstream that is, you know, the mainstreams of Stormzy or Giggs, but it can still be a prominent genre as part of UK rap in a few years' time, let's say.
I think
yeah, there's subgenres, and you need to start somewhere in it. So you start there. You start with grime. You start with drill, and then you kind of realize, not even realize, but you have to elevate yourself and to go push on to the next level. Drill was not going to go commercial. That's what it is. It's not going to go. It's a subgenre. Yeah. So in order to move up, you need to now change your sound. You need to move with what is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all it is. It's not something that's going to die.
It's a shame though because it's like. Oh, it's like I feel like a lot of drill artists, they just need to move smart with it, and it's so hard because I don't think a lot of artists know the business about the music business, so to know how to really navigate and actually do stuff with it. So a lot of people just make music just to make it and just to see what they can get out of it, whatever. Yeah. But like, if you're smart, you will be able to use it to your ability and move on. Yeah. Because end of the day, from when they're trying to take videos down and they're trying to ban this and ban that, it's seen as like a NWA type of stuff, right? Like it's seen as so bad. And yeah, I just think if you're a smart enough artist, you'll be able to use it to your advantage and duck or play about with the sound rather than being just that sound, especially with so much things around it. It's like, all right, cool, I'm a drill artist, but I can also do A, B, C, D with this man and this man. I can make a song with Wizkid and it's calm.
Yeah, I think it could be, but for me, like, this the thing, there's the culture and then there's the music industry. I think drill is very much so a part of the culture. In terms of the industry, it's literally just getting its toe dipped in. And this is already the thing that's happening.
It is, and you're right, but I think that's what, for me anyway, from what I saw, that's actually what happened in grime. And they still use it, do you know what I mean? They still run to the Crazy Titch drop-ins, name drops, you know what I mean? Whenever Stormzy
and this guy that
pops up,
Solo 45 didn't.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they still find some sort of, but you know, I think slowly that maybe we need someone from the drill space to actually really make that one song that's really gonna take drill out of this world or out of the culture and into mainstream music. And then when they do, you know, because labels are signing drill artists. So I don't know what they're signing them for if they don't think that they're gonna blow.
But this is the thing, labels will sign someone that's destructive. For the community, they'll sign someone just for the cash grab and not really care about the long-term, you know, implications that it has for the culture or for the individual.
That's where we come in, that's where we should come in terms of the managers, the team and the people that the artists have around them to make sure that their interests or at least some of their interests, the majority of their interests are met.
Yeah, this is the thing. And we need infrastructure as well. If we're going to have a scene like drill, we can't just have one DJ like Kenny Allstar as the main supporter. Big up Kenny, you know what I mean? Because Tim Westwood and them are there supporting it now. But when something else is the new thing, you know, will they still support it? Do you get what I'm saying? There's a lot of rappers and styles in the UK that's present, but it doesn't really get the love because it's not sensationalized. So once the suburbs and all of them people move away from drill, will it still survive that as well? So
feel choices like that in order to get any kind of attention and then bring it back for our scene from doing that corny shit. That's how it had to go back then, yeah? Now it's a thing where with everything being online and streaming, they can be more, they don't have to compromise as much. Drill artists don't have to compromise. As long as they're on the Spotify's and these things here, they could, you never know what could happen, bro.
So diversifying.
Because hold on, I swear Man's Not Hot was on a drill beat.
No, wait.
Was Man's Not Hot on a drill beat, or yes or no? Was Man's Not Hot on a drill beat, yes or no? Where did Man's Not Hot finish in the charts?
It did well.
So what, did drill not do well in the charts?
No, it did well. Fair enough. You know what, you got me there. Well done. Praise the Lord. What I'm saying is
little plug for Skepta, yeah?
No, what I'm saying is that I don't see the evolution in drill.
Fair enough, you don't see it, innit? It's not your job to see it, though, innit? So
no, it should be though. It should be because you said Ipsy Daisy what's called.
Yeah, but that's where they have to go. There wasn't. I would say it's part of the journey. No, but it was part of the journey, though. You can't deny it. You can't take that out of the point where that was part of the overall in the chronological order of if you're writing a book on grime, you're gonna possibly venture being like, look, this when Wiley went and did all them moist songs with Roll Deep.
Diversified.
Yeah, diversified, but that's what I'm saying, to a level of that. They don't have to do that. These drill artists, I don't know if Drill's gonna be here in 3 years. To be honest, I don't really care.
3 years, maybe.
But will they survive the press? Well, yeah.
10 years? I don't know about that one. Let's keep doing fucking Forrest Gump forever. Think it's a joke.
It is what it is, man. Our scene's in a new place. Our overall scene is still in a new place. So let alone when we're going into these other subgenres, right now, we still need to secure the door we have right now, to be honest. So focusing on drill like that is not my concern. But at the same time, you know, I wish everyone luck in it. And I just think, yeah, the press, I'm just saying the similarities between grime and drill are there.
I feel like people started saying that because they heard Damon Dash called Leo Cohen a culture vulture. That's right. I swear, since the start of this year, I haven't been hearing people call people culture vulture until Damon Dash.
So the definition, apparently, according to Google, is a person who is very interested in the arts. I don't think that's the definition we're looking for.
That's not the definition.
However, what's your definition of a culture vulture?
Someone who's not really interested in the music, but they see it as a profitable game to market more themselves than the actual music and help other artists. So yeah, I would say that's culture vulture, and it always seems to be systemic with people that are obviously not of black minority. They'll be obviously from being obviously not black, non-blacks. So for me, no. Just to answer the question point blank period, Westwood is not a culture vulture. He's been in this game deep. Think about it. Where would London be without Tim Westwood in terms of headlining music?
Drill is music and its expression. That will always be what it's going to be. The street violence is street violence, and that is what it is. That is what it will always be. But I feel like what we should check here is the opportunistic nature of the industry.
100%.
So you have these platforms coming out and calling Tim Westwood, you know, a culture vulture, saying that he's making blood money. But what the hell are you doing?
100%.
What are you doing? You're running news reports on all of these things.
Exactly.
You're publishing and selling ads on all of these stories of young youths dying. So you're doing the exact same thing.
100%.
The music industry is still signing artists that are talking about shh. Do you get what I'm saying? So where's the accountability? We're going to now put the accountability with the mothers that are grieving their children, and put the accountability on the victims of a situation that is caused by a multitude of things, and then you have these people actually investing money into it. That's what we need to be checking. Like, I
think that definitely makes me sick when I see big platforms or big newspapers like The Sun or like BBC, where you see, instead of highlighting the negative aspects of the fact that someone has just died, a father or a friend or a cousin or a son has just died on the streets, you automatically, you forget that, you put their name there and you just talk about drill, and then you talk about the genre, then you talk about the examples of the genre, and it's like you're just making that important life very small and just inserting it into your agenda that you're trying to push. And I just think it's not fair because And also, can I just say, it also is a direct attack on these young men who are actually trying or could be trying to make themselves better. Yeah. Because when you're taking down these videos and you're taking down content that they've created, when you know that could contribute to their charts or their chart
or their success
like
as a musician
rankings and
generally,
stuff,
yeah.
or could contribute to the success of their career, you're limiting their opportunities to making money legitimately. So you're indirectly trying to make them go back to the hood.
I 100% think no matter your race, if you are a part of a scene that is making that much profit and you have a platform to do something, I think 100% you should be putting back into your community. Don't piss me off. Like, do not come into the scene. Like, don't make stuff off the scene. Be fuck off, be rich somewhere. And don't even try to help anyone else that's trying to come up too. It's not... Grime was a broke, and it still is a struggling scene in terms of money wise, yeah. Like some people, yes, they're able to get their stuff off of it, but it doesn't mean that the whole scene is eating. Yeah. Generally, like a lot of grime artists are fucking broke. Yep. Same way a lot of drill artists like aren't doing that much either. Like it's so we need people that are able to pioneer and make shit out of that to look back and be like, bro, like let's do something to this.
Does that make them more selfish? Because
I think clearly, personally, it's a bit, not saying it depends on your priorities, innit? Yeah. If your priority isn't to help people, then to me that is selfish because I look at things like biblical stuff and about helping and giving back and doing all these things and charity work and all this stuff. I think that is all important. No matter, I just don't know why people think music is so different compared to giving back to charity. If you would, or why does everyone look at music as it's like you don't have to, like because it's music, fam? It's $1 billion worldwide industry that can actually use. Like whatever you're doing, you can help people. That's why I rate people like Clapton going on. That's why I rate people like Stormzy. Yeah. Because they, first of all, music is not a longevity. It doesn't have. So you can be popping today, tomorrow with a little Spotify hits and whatnot, but you could be gone at the same time. So rate Stormzy for the Penguin books, for doing his stuff. I rate Clapton. #Murky. Yeah, because they're seeing it like. Right, man, then we're actually making peace of this. Yeah, we got to now throw it back. For other people. It's true. Why are we just chilling on it?
Hell no. Hell no. Because when he had a platform, he didn't have to bring UK artists to his fucking Radio 1 set. He didn't have to do that. You don't interview Biggie.
Yeah, he interviewed Biggie Park as well. So.
Bro, Run DMC, all them people there. He had a platform for the Americans.
Westwood's been doing this thing for like 40 years, bro. For
him to bring the movement, Dot Rotten, Nasty, Solo 45, all them people back in them days, we didn't have to. It's a madness.
But I mean, even you look at his career as a DJ, even when you look at this platform of Westwood thing, Westwood TV with the Crib Sessions, where all the drill is, they're linking him to it from the Crib Sessions. You look at the Crib Sessions came from the grime days. It even went through the UK rap days when we started to have all the Joey Blacks and the Cokes and the Squeaks and all them. And then it comes through to the drill. It's only right. All he's doing exactly what the journalists out there are doing. He's covering what's going on, except he's catering to our culture. So therefore, he's going to cover whatever the fuck is going on. He didn't make the drill music. He didn't start it. So if that is their issue, it's not him first that does it. Does he put it on there and give a platform? Yes.
For me,
but is that where he's investing in it? Them YouTube views aren't making him a lot of money.
For me, he gives us a platform that no one else used to give us.
Of course.
And he's still doing it. And he's still doing it. He didn't have to do it. Like, bro, he had the American artists, they love him. Look when he interviewed him.
But then I think that would be the only debate with the Westwood thing is, do you think that he loved America off before us? But then no, because he had to do what he had to do. I'm a Westwood fan. I can't even start even being a devil's advocate to Westwood. Can't even do it.
No, he had to do what he had to do at the time because the UK scene wasn't popular.
Yeah, there was nothing. There
was no one you could see.
What was he going to cover?
Who was he going to cover? Yeah, who was he going to cover? That's true. Channel UK more what?
As soon as opportunities come, then he gave them away. So he's not a coach vulture.
Different. I have a different question for you.
Would London be recognised as much as it would?
I have a different question for you.
What's the question?
Do you think he needs to retire? I'm just saying.
Okay.
Timothy. Timothy.
Why do you think Westwood needs to retire? Because clearly you feel like he needs to retire.
Why do you think that?
You brought up the question.
Yeah, no, I do.
Yeah, why do you think he needs to retire?
He's approached the age of 60.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. And I just think he's rinsed it out a bit.
You reckon?
Yeah.
But I feel like it's interesting because you know who Tim Westwood is. And he's not even your generation at all. Like you're very young in this and you come into this and you know who Tim Westwood is. And I think that speaks volumes to his work.
Because he's at every uni rave. What, like?